What to do if your partner wants an open relationship? Now, I have been on the end of this conversation and I know how truly terrifying it can be. But in this video, I'm going to share with you about how having an open relationship does not have to spell disaster. My name is Rosie Kay, and I'm an ethical non-monogamy coach for couples and singles who want to start in the swinger lifestyle. On my blog site, ThisKindaGirl.co.uk, I aim to banish the stigma about ethical non-monogamy and who swingers really are. Now, many people falsely believe that one person wanting an open relationship spells the end of life as you know it, and that your partner either wants to replace you, they maybe no longer love you, they don't find you sexy, or they want to have an affair. I know how it feels when your partner suggests that they want to open up your relationship, and I know how it feels to be the one suggesting it to your partner. I've been in a swinger lifestyle for over 10 years now, and I've also been in an open relationship and suggested it to people as well. I know how scary both situations can be. Now, the first thing that many people experience when they hear this from their partners, and I do understand their thinking behind it, is fear and apprehension. Our relationships are our private worlds. We nurture and we cherish them. We defend them against outsiders and we keep them sacred. We can't help it. We all do it. Responding with fear is normal, but overcoming and understanding why we experience that relationship anxiety and that fear is the first step. I know it's easier said than done, but if I can do it, so can you guys. Having an open relationship does not mean your partner is going to leave you. The fact that they want to go on this journey with you is a reassuring one. What you need to do, and I know it's very hard to do this, and I know it's easy for me to say this now, is put yourself in the position of your partner and try to imagine how much courage it must have taken them for them to have the conversation with you. The fact that they have come to you with this desire, the fact that they feel they can share, is a really positive step. So imagine the alternative to this. They either never speak up about what they want to desire and they become steadily more repressed and resentful, or they feel unable to communicate their needs and end up cheating. Now, from my experiences in this, I identify as a bisexual woman, and although I was really scared about opening up to my partner, although I was scared about talking about these things, I couldn't repress how I was feeling. I couldn't simply ignore it because it's ingrained who I am. And on the flip side, when my partner came to me and they shared with me what they wanted to experience, I didn't want them to suppress part of themselves because I wanted for him to be happy. I wanted for him to have all the experiences he wanted in life. And I didn't want to be the person to quash that. So I do understand what it's like being on both sides. Now, as I said, I wouldn't want them to end up cheating on me and jeopardizing relationship and hurting me and damaging things. And I wouldn't want them to be more repressed and resentful either. So I'd hate for my partner to be miserable within our relationship. And I think if you can put yourself in that position and be compassionate, then I think you'll actually get a lot further. I greatly respected them coming to me and saying, look, I feel like this. What do you think? What can we do about it? Is there a way we can work together to find a solution? Because when you start viewing an open relationship or an ethically non-monogamous relationship as a journey for you both to go on instead of an obstacle or a challenge, as many, many people do, your relationship starts to grow. Now, initially, I saw it as a huge obstacle and a huge challenge, and it was definitely something I was not up for. But then when you start to look past that and you realize there are ways in which you can nurture your existing relationship. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be make or break. You can have the best of both worlds. You can both enjoy it. That is when you start to grow. So you begin communicating in ways you haven't done before. You begin discussing possibilities that you didn't think were feasible. And as a couple, you actually become more grounded and more secure. Now, this is a really strange realization, that by opening up your relationship, you actually become closer. But because you have that communication and that understanding, this is what brings you closer. And it's something which I had no idea of when I first started. And it's something which I have tried to explain to people over the years, and it's really hard for them to understand. And I get that. I certainly, something I found very challenging, I would say, to begin with. And it's something which, until you've experienced it, you don't understand quite what it's going to do. But this is what can happen. So one of the best ways to kind of start having an open relationship is to start establishing some rules and some boundaries. So an open relationship is no different to a regular relationship. Essentially, you both need to be clear about what it is you want to enjoy. Sure, you may be enjoying sex and intimacies with other people, but respecting one another and having those boundaries and communicating, it's the same for all relationships. So before either of you start seeking out other people to play with, you need to be clear on what is and what isn't okay within your relationship. Having rules and boundaries that you both follow are essential ingredients for your relationship if it is going to be a success. Many people falsely believe that one person wanting an open relationship really does spell the end of your existing relationship. But if you work together to put in place rules and boundaries and you communicate, then there is no reason why this should happen. So having rules and boundaries within any ethically non-monogamous relationship that you both follow is an essential step if your relationship is going to be a success. Whether you decide to be open, you decide to be swingers, you decide to practice polyamory, relationship hierarchy, however it is, you decide to practice ethical non-monogamy, it's no different. And before either of you even start seeking out other people to play with, you need to be clear on what is and what is not okay within your relationship. Now, it may be that you start off with safe sex and you work from there. Discuss what type of sex it is you're happy to engage in, what type it is you're happy not to engage in. Talk about how often you want to play, where will you meet people, how will you meet people, will you have an emotional connection with them, will it be more of a purely physical connection with them, will it only be in clubs, and all these things you need to establish and talk about. The more you talk about them, the deeper understanding you will have of what one another wants to experience. Now, I do have quite a lot of information on how to establish rules and boundaries for yourselves as individuals and also within a relationship over on my site, ThisKindaGirl.co.uk. You'll find blog articles on establishing those rules and boundaries, how to implement them in your relationship, and how to talk about them as a couple. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it informative, and I hope it's given you an insight into what having an open relationship can be like. As I said, it doesn't have to spell the end of life as you know it. It just means that you start looking at things differently. Now, if you'd like to support me, you can do by visiting my site, ThisKindaGirl.co.uk, reading my blog articles. You can also get your hands on more of my content by supporting me on my Patreon. And if you'd like to be part of my TKG club, where I share with you all of my very best advice, and also it's where you can connect with the genuine swingers, you can do. Hit the link below in the description and find all of the information down there. And until then, I shall see you next time.